Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Dr. Sujad's Academy. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe my channel and do not forget to hit the bell icon to get the notifications on my latest videos. Thank you. My dear students, in my previous video I had started with this one-way ANOVA concept, and somehow I had told you about when can we use this ANOVA and all, that to one-way ANOVA, and what are the different assumptions of this one-way ANOVA. So today what I am going to do, I am going to take one data set and I will explain like how can we run this one-way ANOVA on a particular data set using SPSS. So before I continue or if I go to like SPSS and show you through one data set like how can we conduct this test, let me first brush up the earlier concepts and make your comprehension very clear about this. First of all, we have to test whether the data is continuous or not. Then the second one is there must be two or more than two independent groups in the independent variable. So better, because if we here talk about two independent groups in the independent variable, this one-way ANOVA test, it tends more towards t-test. So better if we take more than two groups in the independent variable, as we have here independent variable, that's profession, and we have here doctors, surgeons, nurses and dentists. So here we have more than three groups in the independent variable. Like similarly, if we talk about education, we have like bachelor's degree, we have postgraduate, we have then doctorate, we have postdoc also. So these are the different groups, independent groups in the independent variable. Then the third condition that we have to, that the data must meet, there must be no outliers present in the dependent variable, that we are going to check. Then dependent variable should be normally distributed, fine, and this we are going to check using these two tests, right? When we are using when we run this normality test for our data, we are going to get this p-value here. So this p-value is the ultimate value, this significant p-value. This is the ultimate value here on the basis of which we are going to decide whether there is normality in the dependent variable or not. Here if our p-value is less than 0.05, that means data is not normally distributed, and in case if this p-value is greater than 0.05, the data is normally distributed, right? So this is what we are going to check there. Then we had some two more assumptions here. If you see here, we have independence of observations, which I told in my previous video only. There must be independence in the observation. That is, if the participant is present in one group, that participant should not be the part of any other group, right? Any other group. Then we have the sixth one and the last assumption here, that is homogeneity of variance. This we are going to test using Levene's test. So once we meet all these conditions for our data, then we are going to run the one-way ANOVA test, right? So let us go for that then. Now I am going to open my SPSS here. This tool I am going to open. So here is my data file. It is a data file of sales, car type and ownership here. This is like, these are the variables that I have here. If you see it, we have sales, car type and ownership. Fine. Let me align this data in center. Okay. Fine. Now if we go here, if we see, we have here this sales data of about 30 samples here, right? and here we have car type, and then we have ownership. Here car type, if we go here and check it, we have full size car, we have middle size car, and then we have compact car. So this is the sales data of all these three types of cars. And then we have here ownership. It is of two types, one is private and the other one is public here. Right, fine. Now if we talk about the first assumption of one-way ANOVA test, that is data should be continuous. If we talk about the sales data here, this data is continuous, right? This is the first condition, right? Here it is, data should be measured on the continuous scale. The data is continuous, fine. Then there are more than two independent groups in the independent variable, right? Let us now, if we see here this car type, sales data is dependent on the car type, right? Now if we see here, we have compact car, we have middle size car, and we have full size car. That means in our independent variable we have three groups here, three different groups. That is second condition is also met. Now we have third condition here, there are no outliers present in the dependent variable. Dependent variable should be normally distributed. So for this, what we are going to do, we are going to SPSS and find it out again, right? Let's go. Now for this, what we are going to do, we are going to analyze, we are going to descriptives. In descriptives we are going to explore, fine. In explore we have here sales, this will go to the dependent list, and then we have car type, we have, this is independent variable, and this will go to the factor list. Make this sure, because this independent variable, this is a categorical variable and has three categories here. After that, what I am going to do is, I am going to this statistics, right? Here the confidence interval level is 95%. Here we have outliers option also, right? If we want, we can check it out, or this is not required also, because we are going to get it anyways there. Now if we talk about the plots here, in plots we have to check this one. What is that? It is histogram. Then we have normality plot for tests, right? We are going to continue here, fine. So once we do this, we are going to click on OK, and the result will pop out in the new window. So this is our result. Now if we see here from this whatever is the output here, car type we have here, and 10, 11 and 9 here. You can see here case is missing, so there is no missing case here. Now if we go to this table, which is very important here, look at this. We have KS test here, and then we have Shapiro-Wilk test here also. Both the tests are here. Now if we go a little below and see from this part, where is that outlier part, QQ plot, here we have normal QQ plot of sales. If you see, most of them are like very near to, they are very near to this line here. So we can say there is no outlier. Somehow they are little above this, little bit away from this line. But if you see here also, most of them are on the line, on this diagonal only. One point is here, one value is here. If we see in this quartile plot, and then here again, if you see here, little bit they are away from the diagonal. So this is not the right way. Sometimes we should better believe in the statistical values that we have here, numerical values. Now if you see in this normality test, which is here, now what is our test hypothesis? The test hypothesis here is there is normality in the data or in the dependent variable, and alternative hypothesis is there is no normality in the dependent variable. Now as I said you in my previous video, and today also I discussed with you about this, how are we going to decide upon on the normality of data? We are going to decide it based on this sigma value, based on this significant value here, p values, be it this KS test or be it Shapiro-Wilk test. In both these two tests, we have here what? We have these values here, p values. If you see, it is 0.130, it is 0.165, and for full size cars is 0.3 0.054. And here again, if you see, we have for compact cars it is 0.114, then middle size car it is 0.074, and for full size car it is 0.10, right? And if we see, all these are more than or greater than our level of significance, which is p is equal to 0.05. So what should be our result? When p is greater than 0.05, the null hypothesis is accepted, right? The null hypothesis is accepted, and we can say there is normality in the data. Fine. So this is the normality test. So now let us go for the other part, that is the Leibniz test that we are going to check now. So for that we have one path here. We can go to analyze, then we can go to descriptive statistics. From descriptive stats we can go to descriptives. So here we have this sales here. If we drag it to the variables and here options, we must make sure the variance is checked here. Now if we click here, this result will pop out. Now here this variance is the overall variance here. This is the overall variance of the sales, but what we have to do, we have to find the variance within each group, because we have 3 groups there. So within each group we have to do, then there is one another path. This one we don't need here, but if we want to find the overall variance, this is the path that we need to follow.